We are live. Hello, everybody. Dark here, and I'm here with Slinky today. We have been wanting to do something for a little bit. Oh, not really. I just couldn't do it completely by myself because this is involving college football 25, and I don't have the game, and I don't even have an Xbox Series X to do it. Which is why one of my friends here, Slinky, is basically going to be doing the game stuff. Me, Slinky, and another one of my friends. Other friends, Sean. Decided to do our own conference realignment thing. So before we get into this, I am going to show you, if this isn't our first time doing it, I'm going to show you how we did it the first time and how it's going now. So going over to here. This was our first go around doing it. Just so we already did some weird planning and shit. I moved Maryland to the ACC. We got all the military teams in the American. UConn was in the American, so it's Wake Forest and Old Dominion. That was a suggestion by one of my other friends. And then Big 12, mostly the same, except there are some teams that got removed. And Tulane and Mississippi State we decided to both put in the Big 12. Big 10, no difference here, except of course Maryland's no longer in it, and Notre Dame is there. Oh yeah, by the way, forgot to mention, there are no independents. Everybody is on a conference. Conference USA, only difference here, Florida Atlantic's been added, and Kent State is on here. The MAC, Marshall, we put here. UMass we put here, which I'm pretty sure, aren't they going to the MAC IRL next season? I'm pretty sure they are. And Virginia, we moved from the ACC to the MAC. Mountain West, almost completely redone. Arizona State, BYU, Colorado, Utah, and UTEP all joined the Mountain West. Pac-12, a completely different identity. Boise State, Cal, Fresno State, Hawaii, Oregon, San Jose State, Stanford, USC, UCLA, and Washington joined Oregon State and Washington State. SEC, only thing we touched with it was kicking out Mississippi State. And the Sun Belt, he moved Kennesaw State, North Texas, and UAB. That was at the start of this thing. Now let's go to the here and now. Oh, yeah, UCF was a conference USA, which really I thought was a stupid fucking idea. I don't know why we did it. But we're here in the now. Maryland is staying in the ACC, but UConn and West Virginia are now in the ACC. The American, mostly the same with the exception, of course, UConn leaving to go to the ACC. When we did this the first time, we did some promoting and relegating. The Big 12's no more. Me and some of my friends in the group chat we're in brought back the Big 8. I did it this way. Iowa State, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State were already there. We had them. And then we had three other teams that were already in the Big 12 stay. And then we had one team that used to be in the Big 8 come back. And that brought us this roster of Colorado, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Mississippi State, Oklahoma State, TCU, and Texas Tech. Big Ten. One of my friends wanted to do it. I don't know why, but Oregon's back in the Big Ten. Conference USA. 2 teams got added, and 1 got removed. Of course, UCF is in the American. Conference USA now has UL Monroe and Temple. The MAC, again, another odd decision made by one of my friends. Houston is in the MAC. Going talent-wise, not geography-wise. I did question it, but UMass is in the MAC, so fuck it. Pac-12 replacing Oregon is San Diego State. Massive downgrade. And the Sun Belt's basically the same with the exception. Oh wait, no, never mind. Jacksonville State is in the Sun Belt. All right. So we're done with that. Let's get these let's realign these conferences. All right. Okay, of course. Army stays, Charlotte stays, East Carolina stays, Florida and Atlantic's going to Conference USA. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, there is something I decided to put for this. The Sun Belt. I am getting rid. I'm getting rid of the divisions in this. Well, we are getting rid of divisions in the Sun Belt. Anyways, Memphis stays, Navy stays. North Texas is going to the Sun Belt. Rice stays, USF stays, UAB stays, Tulsa stays, Temple's going to Conference USA. And Tulane's staying. Alright, ACC. Boston College stays. California's going to the Pac-12. All the other teams stay until we get up to Stanford, which is going to the Pac-12. Stanford is going to the Pac-12. And then Virginia is going to the MAC.
To the MAC?
Yeah, this was a move we made when we initially did this.
Okay.
And Wake Forest is going to the American. Alright, Big Ten. Maryland to the ACC. And then Washington to the Pac-12. And UCLA, USC, and Washington to the Pac-12. UCLA and USC. Then that's it. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Arizona, Arizona State, and BYU all going to the Mountain West. Baylor is going to the Sun Belt. Cincinnati's going to the MAC. Houston's going to the MAC. Next up would be UCF going to the American. Utah going to Mountain West. And West Virginia to the ACC. Alright, Conference USA. Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State both going to the Sun Belt. And UTEP is going to the Mountain West. Alright, Notre Dame is going to the Big Ten. UConn is going to the ACC. And UMass is going to the MAC. Alright. The hell happened to the sound? Wait. 27 left by Slinky. You there? Um, what just happened?
What?
Your alt just left a call.
Fucking
Hold on a second. We'll be back. Fucking technical difficulties going on right now.
It's fine for me.
Is it? Is it
Yeah.
like? Is it completely on?
No, it's fine for me.
This is Alright, Kent State's going to Conference USA. That's Toledo.
Yeah, no. Who the fuck is mine? There we go.
Oh shit. Hold on. Let me. There we go. Go back. And that's the only move. So we can move on to Mountain West. Alright. Air Force is going to the American. Boise State is going to the Pac-12. Hawaii is going to the Pac-12. Fresno State's going to the Pac-12. San Diego State to the Pac-12. And San Jose State to the Pac-12. Alright, SEC only change there is Mississippi State going to the Big 8, I guess, but it's Big 12 in this year. Mississippi State. Alright, Sun Belt. Marshall is going to the MAC. And Old Dominion is going to the American. oh shit, hold on. UL Monroe to Conference USA, and I completely forgot to mention fucking putting fucking UAB's going to Sun Belt.
You said to the American?
UL Monroe's going to Conference USA.
Oh, close enough.
And then UAB to the Sun Belt. That's hold on. That's 16. Am I? Oh yeah, Georgia Southern to Conference USA. I completely forgot about that move. All right, there we go. Now we're good.
Now time to select your team. Do you want to build a team from the ground up?
Okay, where are we going for school?
Established contender. Pay attention to
We said when we did this again, we got to start off with a team that's actually good.
Yeah.
Team's name. Teams with a higher prestige will be ready to compete for the college
Clemson?
football playoff right away, while lower
No,
prestige teams provide
they're
you
not
with
going to stay
talent
good.
to build into contenders.
I don't want
The
to do.
choice is up to
I don't
you.
want to do fucking schools like Georgia immediately.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. It's just that they're going to be good. They're good. Those teams are. Georgia's usually the one that's the best the longest.
Notre Dame?
What?
Notre Dame?
Yeah, they kind of the ones that you usually see in the playoffs almost every year. Penn State is sometimes, then it's Georgia, Oregon, and Bama, like the big three.
Alright, you know what? Let's do Alabama.
All right.
And now you'll choose where to start your journey as a coach. Here, you'll choose to create a coaching. Congratulations, it's time.
What we do, if you don't, there's this guy called Bigfoot Gaming. He does this thing where I'm explaining to chat, the non-existent chat. There is this guy, Bigfoot Gaming, he basically has a series called Winning a Championship with Every Team. How he usually does his things, he sims a regular season, and then he goes to until we hit the bowl games. And if we make the playoffs, we also sim playoff games. That's how we did. That's how we did it the first time. That's how we're gonna do it every time we do this. So yeah, let's.
Ooh, I got a.
Oh yeah, auto recruiting might be helpful since what we're doing. Yeah, let's get the first season out of the way. Wait, wasn't it bowl game or end of regular season that we went to last time?
I don't know. It's, at the end, I started sending bowl games.
So we're gonna be here for a minute. All right. Yeah, we made it. Thanks, right? Nine and 3. We make a bowl game or we make the playoffs? Make the playoffs. Texas State in the first season.
In fucking Tulane.
Tulane got a bye.
Yeah, Georgia, of course, had the bye, so.
Oh, let's get into this.
Welcome, everybody, to something brand new and historic. The 12-team college football playoff is here. And an kickoff team is out there. Great energy as this college football playoff gets underway. Here's the return from inside the 5. Makes it to the 16. That's good coverage there. The Wildcats offense will get the first swing today. And here he comes, the quarterback. All eyes on him. He's the guy that just makes everything go.
Well, this guy's Mr. Do-It-All. It's almost odd to say this about a quarterback, but he truly does. He's the echo of the coach and the connector of this offense. When everyone is hooked up to him, this team operates at maximum capacity, and that usually means their opposition is in trouble.
It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw. Good pass rush there on first down. The pocket breaking down.
It just looked like the quarterback was holding on to the ball a bit too long that time, allowed the defense to be able to get the pressure, and they come up with the first sack of the game.
Well, a serious challenge for this offense. You don't want to be in 3rd and long inside your own 20. How much of a risk will they take to try to pick up this first down? Trying to flex the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. Picks up about 5 yards, but it's not enough. Here comes a 4th down now. The Wildcats will send their punt team onto the field. Gets the kick away from his own end zone. Prudent decision to make the fair catch here in these frigid conditions. So Alabama's offense takes the field. Our first chance to see them today. All right, Kirk, let's take a quick look at the impact players for today's game and how they're going to affect the outcome.
These are your leaders on the field and in the locker room. These are your go-to guys, not only when you need a play to be made, but also when you need somebody to rally your team.
It's picked off. He tried to fire the ball into a tight window. Not much on the return there, but the takeaway will set up the offense at the 30.
Sometimes that primetime game, the whole nation is watching, brings out some extra energy, some nerves. Maybe the quarterback is feeling that a little bit. I did not expect him to throw a pick, especially on the opening drive.
First play of the drive, he looks left for a
They're gonna
completion.
run the ball.
We see this all over the country now in college football. Defensive backs staying back a little bit deeper, forcing the quarterback to have to throw things in front.
Oh.
I like the decision here by the quarterback because he gets positive.
Oh, a sack. The senior on this defense making a big play.
I thought the strong safety did a really good job of disguising the blitz, waiting to the last possible moment, and at the snap of the ball, catching the offensive line off guard. Nobody saw him. He gets home free and comes up with a sack.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this third down. Dropping back. They're going to throw for the first down. He's escaping the pocket now. Looking to scramble now. The defense stops him short of the marker, so it's fourth down coming up. And the Wildcats will line up to punt it away. And he'll kick it away now for the second time. Running it back. It's Adams. The coverage team makes the stop on this return. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. Remember, the last possession ended quickly. The interception on the first play. Let's see if they can do better here. Catch hauled in here over the middle. And that is a first down gain. Moves the ball to the 40. Alabama comes up with the line quickly.
You know, Chris, you think about it, efficiency has always kind of been the description of a great Alabama quarterback. But man, think about the playmakers that they've had over the last few years at this position. Jalen, Tua, Bryce Young recently. Just a different level of quarterback play and really gives this offense an edge to it.
Nice run. He's brought down to the 44. What will the call be on third and long now from the 44? Dropping back. We're going to throw for the first down. And he floats this pass deep down the right side. And that deep shot is caught for a big gain. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. This quarterback on fire today.
That kind of play is almost impossible to defend. When the quarterback is throwing the ball with that kind of accuracy and timing, and the receiver runs a route like this, good luck trying to stop it. So maybe this is a great start for this combination of this quarterback and receiver for a big day.
And they get set now to try the PAT. And it's 7-0 after the PAT. Now the kickoff team is out on the field.
Oh my God.
He's going to return it from near the goal line. They'll be tackled at the 18. That's
Oh
good
my God.
coverage there.
Florida's really going to
And
sleep
the Kansas State
Carolina.
offense is back out on the field. They were held to a quick 3-and-out last time, looking to put together a positive drive here. That's a nice wrap-up there by the junior. Offense getting set. It's second down. Back to throw. It's Johnson. Here's a throw underneath to the tight end. Tackle made after the completion. An important third down attempt for this offense. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun, looking for a receiver. Doesn't hold on. Good hit by the DB. Now it brings up fourth down. The Wildcats will have to kick this away. Looking to flip the field here. Bringing it back, it's Adams. He's brought down, but a good effort to make something of that return. And now the first play of this drive will set up at the 37. On first and 10, they'll look to throw it. Caught near the sideline. It's Haynes. He's going to lose yardage there. Forced out of bounds. Great play by the defense. They'll look to throw it here on second down. Running back has it on the screen now. They finally get him down, but a solid gain on that screen pass. Good call there. So the offense with the first and 10 now. The football placed exactly at midfield. They'll hand it off. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Now it's second down here. Here's the snap, looking to throw. That one falls incomplete. Looking for a flag, doesn't get it. Brings up third down. Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. On third down, he drops to throw. Running back grabs it on a screen. Defense makes the stop. The screen pass doesn't produce fourth down. They come up short on the third down completion. And here comes the punt team. Punt goes out of bounds. Looks like they'll spot it near the 15. Okay, the K-State offense is back out on the field now. They're coming off a quick 3 and out, so looking to put something together on this drive with a little more urgency. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. They're behind the sticks on 2nd and long here from the 12. Scanning the field, it's Johnson. Bringing pressure. Sacked, it's a loss, back to the 6.
Oh, another great play by an Alabama defensive lineman. And you just think about over the years, probably the last 30 years, going all the way back to John Copeland on that 1992 Alabama defense. Most recently, guys like Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Quentin Williams. Can always count on Bama having great defensive linemen and difference makers.
So a tricky situation here. 3rd and very long inside your own 20. How much of a risk do you take?
And whoa!
Man, that is a big-time play for this defense. Not only did
Safety.
they get a couple points, they get the football back as well. It should give these guys a spark and some momentum.
It's the first time we've seen a safety play in this game.
Kickoff team out there to boot it away after giving up the safety. On the return, it's Adams. This should be the last play of the quarter. From the shotgun, here's an inside give. They get him down to wrap up the first period of play. So Alabama will take the lead into the quarter break here. We've reached the end of 1 in this quest to move 1 step closer to a national championship. Let's check out the stats so far. We expect the teams have worked through some of the nerves of this playoff game as we begin the second quarter. He'll hand it off. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. Now here comes the bunch formation. 3rd down, out of the shotgun. Pressure is coming. The sophomore able to get home with the sack.
Well, that's the one thing about a guy that always feels that he can rely on his legs. He's always trying to make a play, and this time he just wasn't able to get away from the defense, and that is a big loss for the offense.
Well, this is good.
And the punt team makes its way onto the field. We're going to kick it away for the 2nd time. Return it brought down. Sets up the next drive. And the Wildcats offense back out on the field. This offense trying to bounce back. The last time out there, they surrendered a safety. Finds that big tight end for a short pass. But a huge hit by the linebacker. What a tackle. The completion sets up a 2nd down play. Back to pass. It's Johnson.
And
Couldn't find anybody
thrown
open.
off,
Just
so
has to throw it away. After the incompletion, they'll have to try to convert here on 3rd and 9. Dropping back, they're going to throw for the 1st down. With the catch, it's Giddens. Defense stops him short of the marker, so now it's 4th down. And the Wildcats will have to kick it away. Back after the punt for the 4th time today.
how far down will
This
they
will be
go?
caught at the 30. Here's the first play of the drive. They're set up at the 31. Quick pass. Here comes a jet sweep.
They're gonna run it, and it
Gain
got
of 2
them.
yards. Now it's 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun now. Here's a handoff inside. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. They're backed up here trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. Dropping back. They're going to throw for the 1st down. Looking to make a play deep downfield.
Will be counted. It's counted as complete.
Yes, they say it's a catch, a big gain.
That is great arm strength and accuracy by this quarterback. And let's not forget the wide receiver's job of bringing it in for that big gain.
Off the play fake, looking to throw on 1st down. Eludes him. He escapes 1 man, but he'll be swallowed up in the play and taken down.
defender did not bite on the fake at all. They were in pass rush mode the entire time.
Second down now after the sack. Dropping back, it's Milrow. Makes a quick catch. And they bring him down. That's a very solid gain, but still well short of the marker. And he'll drop back here on third down. And the sack is made. That's a nice play there by the sophomore.
That is outstanding defense to be able to leverage this quarterback. That is a tough thing to do. This guy's as fleet-footed as any quarterback in the country, and to be able to bring him down for a loss like that is a major accomplishment.
Damn.
Punting ready to boot it away.
Yes, it will be punted away, so it will be
And the punt will land
Kansas
in the end
State's
zone.
ball again. Will they finally do something
The
with it?
Kansas State offense is back out on the field. Now coming off a 3-and-out, looking to produce a positive drive here. On the shotgun,
It's
a
31
handoff.
and gonna be
Tackle
caught up.
behind the line. It's a loss of 2. Short loss on the play sets up second and long from the 18. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back.
86 and gonna be out of bounds.
After gaining decent yardage.
2-minute
That's
timeout.
the 2-minute warning. Let's see if this offense can do something before the break to cut into
Game
this
is
big
still
lead.
9-0. Alabama gonna run.
And it works. The first down to the 35. The Wildcats come to the line to run the hurry up. Looking to throw it on first down. Looking for a deep completion.
And incomplete.
Incomplete. Good defensive play. Brings up second down. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up.
Try again. And too far, incomplete again.
The punter has been very busy so far. Can they finally convert here on third down? Scanning the field. It's Johnson.
Gonna try it again.
And it's incomplete again.
Incomplete.
And the Wildcats will line up to boot it away.
They're gonna punt it.
On to boot it away
All will
now.
be back in the hands of Alabama.
And the return man decides to signal fair catch. Here comes the Alabama offense.
Outside of a
onto the field.
touchdown and a
Forced to
safety,
punt
not much
last time.
happening.
Trying to add points, build the lead right here.
Yeah, remember,
First play of the drive. they'll
spot
come
in the
out
next
throwing.
round on the line as a sack.
Drop back at the 8-yard line.
Good pressure
It looks like it
here
might
by
be
this
Kansas
defense.
State looking to get a safety this time.
Held onto the ball a little bit too long to come up with that sack for the D.
Brendan Mott. Just throwing him to the ground.
And wow, listen to this crowd noise. This stadium is vibrating. That's why this is such a tough place for visitors to play. Handoff here from the shotgun.
Gonna run it. Looking
They
for a
bring him down.
space.
It's a very solid game, but still well short of the
Timeout.
And a timeout is called to talk strategy. Close game.
First
here as
time I
we
used by
approach
Kansas
halftime.
State for this half of the game.
Grab
Going
behind
down.
the line. It's long.
He's gonna run it.
Gets some
How far
space
will he
on the
get?
field. Potentially a touchdown-saving tackle, but not before a long
Timeout
completion.
again.
And a quick timeout called
This time by
the Wildcats after the
Alabama.
play. Alabama getting set for the 1st and 10 now. Quarterback drops back from
Gonna
the
bring it to
shotgun.
the other
Right down
side.
the middle. It's long. And the defense swarms not much of
They
a
won't.
gain on that completion.
Now they do their
Call a
timeout.
That's their second of the half. Here's the second down play.
I don't know why they waited till now.
Quarterback looking to connect with the receiver here.
And caught? No.
Passes dropped. Would have been a huge gain, but he could not collect it. Now it's 3rd and long for this offense. Football right at midfield. Let's it fly to the wideout. There's a wide open receiver, complete. Moves the football
Yeah,
to
the
30.
first
Good
down.
enough for a first
20
down.
seconds left in the
New set of
first half.
downs after that completion. First down, looking to throw the ball. Let's it go.
Oh. Slinky? Thank you.
It's caught downfield.
And touchdown, Alabama.
Strong game by this quarterback.
This guy can do it all. We've seen him go behind coverage and make plays downfield. We can see him catch the ball underneath.
Now
just like
15-0.
this. And when he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads him into the end zone for the 6 points.
That's constant.
Try to add to the lead now with the PAT.
For the extra point. It's good.
Extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. So an important touchdown just before halftime. Not much time for the opposing offense to try to answer before the break. They're returning from inside the 10-yard line. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. So it's first down, but they'll just take a knee and head to halftime. Looks like the offense
Take the knee, and we
continue
are
to run
heading
the clock out here and go to halftime.
to the second
Talk about
half.
the second half. Second down play coming up for this offense. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Thanks, Chris. The magnitude and intensity of these playoff matchups is always something special.
That's the second half, and again,
An entertaining
it's going to be Alabama with
and
the
we've
ball.
got a multi-possession lead to break down thanks to the surgical precision of this offense. Might honestly take more time to talk about what didn't work than what did. The running game, the passing game, gadget plays have worked. Now it's just a matter of finishing the job. That's going to do it for us here at the half. Time to see how this incredible playoff drama plays out. And
Alabama with the ball again.
And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. They start the drive with a quick throw to the right side. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. Second down play coming up. To throw, it's Milroe. Running out of time in the pocket. Caught quickly. There's a loss after the completion. That's a good play by the defense. Well, a serious challenge for this offense. You don't want to be in third and long inside your own 20. How much of a risk will they take to try to pick up this first down? No idea what he was trying to do.
Kansas State's going on the board.
It's going to be a
They get a safety.
Well, you just got to have more awareness here as a ball carrier. What in the world are you doing? You're on your side of the 50. You're running backwards like that. Eventually, the defense sees this. They can't believe their eyes. They're rallying to the football, and they come up with a safety.
So following the safety, it's a free kick. They'll kick it away from the 20. Returner decides to fair catch this. Okay, the K-State offense is back out on the field now.
Ball caught back in the hands of Kansas State.
Off the play fake, looking to throw. With the catch, it's Giddens.
One thing I love about this back is how he gets involved in the passing game. Nice catch here.
Oh, here comes the reverse. The junior able to bring him down quickly. The Wildcats looking to use the up-tempo offense here. Pre-snap motion from the receiver. They'll try to move the chains here on the ground. Fighting for yardage, but the defense stops him just short of that first down marker. And the Wildcats bring their punt team onto the field. Forced to kick it away for the 6th time.
Alabama
With the return,
now has the ball after he
and
punts.
the returner brought down by the coverage team. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. Remember, the last time out there, they surrendered a safety. They got to regroup from that right away. And they'll keep it on the ground. Running back has the handoff. And the runner brought down right at the 38-yard line. Offense getting set. Second down play here.
Alabama trying to make moves, looking to extend
Motion
this
by the
lead
back and make the defense
here in the
adjust.
second half.
Caught in the backfield. It's Haynes. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up
Out
the
of
first down.
bounds right
So the
at
ball
the
placed
50.
right at midfield as the offense starts with a 1st and 10. Dump off caught by the running back.
Run it.
And he's tackled.
Down into 33.
Picking up a first down. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. The back's got it. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. What's the play call here on second down?
Alabama's putting a whooping on Kansas State.
Grab behind the line. It's Law. They bring him down after a solid gain, but it's still well short of the first down marker. Shotgun formation here on third down. And he's going to fling it deep for it all here.
Hey, the good news is here, Chris, they're still in field goal.
They're going to go for the field goal.
Themselves any points.
Try to make it 19-2.
Gotta be thinking about going for this on 4th and
It
short.
is good.
And it's good. And they add to their lead.
I was watching this guy in pregame. He has got a
All
strong
back in the
leg.
hands of Kansas State.
Surprised he was able to put 3 points up here for the offense.
To answer here before it's too late.
Set for the kickoff here after adding to this big lead. And he'll bring it out from inside the 10. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. And the Wildcats offense back out on the field. This group is coming off a quick 3 and out. Can they put something together in this drive? Short throw complete to the tight end. Important second down play coming up. And the wideout goes in motion. Looking to pass. It's Johnson. Quarterback finds a target on the right. It's complete. Defense surrounds him. Just a short gain on that completion. Urgency now for the offense. That hate to come up empty on this drive. Down multiple scores. The sure hands. It's Brown.
Forced
Brought
back.
down at the 28, and that's good enough for a first down. The Wildcats come to the line to start a fresh set of downs. Quick throw caught on the left side. To get him down quickly, not much of a gain on that completion. Second down after that previous play. They're going to run it here.
Oh, they accidentally left
Good
it off
enough
his
for a
face.
fresh set of downs. They'll spot the ball at the 40. This Kansas State offense is quickly
First and
moving
10.
down the field.
1:10 left.
And looking to throw
corner.
for a first down. Looks downfield and connects with a wide open wide receiver. He's brought down, but a solid gain moves the ball across midfield to the 41. It's a shotgun handoff here. Stopped short of the marker after just a short gain. Getting set. Here's second down. And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man.
Oh,
And the pass is incomplete. So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense.
Kansas State really needs to get a touchdown.
Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Airing this one out toward the sideline.
Oh, and
Incomplete.
incomplete.
Incomplete. They tried to press it deep, but
They're gonna go for a
now
field
brings
goal.
up fourth down. Out comes the field goal team to give it a shot. This is a long
It's
no problem. Knocks it
in.
right through.
Boy, this guy had plenty of leg here, too. Chris, you remember the days when a kick from 50 plus
Kansas
was a
State will get
major accomplishment?
Kansas State
Now these guys
with
knock
the
these
3-pointer.
out like they're almost automatic.
be 19-5. Alabama's still in the lead though.
So after coming away with 3 in that drive, the kickoff team is out.
But the ball's back in the hands of Alabama.
The 25, no return attempted there. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. Settled for a field goal last time out. Can they open things up on this possession? They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Went backwards on first down, so second and long from the 24. Caught behind the line.
Yes.
He's brought down, but they went backwards after the completion.
Slowly eating in.
Now in third and very long, looking to throw.
But there will be a catch. Will be a run to the 44 on Kansas State's side of the field. third quarter over. We are heading into the
So
fourth.
Alabama will take the lead into the quarter break here. And as we've reached the end of 3, time is running out in this crucial contest for both these programs to stay alive in the quest for a national championship. Let's check out the game summary before we move on. The drive stays alive with that completion for a first down. Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it
Alabama
off.
has to
Runner finding some space there. That's a solid gain on the ground.
run to
Second down after that run.
the opposite direction. What is now?
It's a quick grab. And they wrap him up after the completion just short of the first down marker. And it's a bunch formation. Try and muscle for the first down. Powering through.
Fumble
It's a fumble.
in Kansas
Defense has picked up
State.
the football going the other way.
This offense just
Gets the ball back.
A nice lead here in the second half with the football. The last thing you want to do is turn it over, and they put the ball on the ground.
Toby
and now give
McAllister,
your opponent a chance to
the
get
sophomore.
back in this game.
And the Kansas State offense is back out on the field. The last drive produced 3 points thanks to an excellent long-range field goal. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he dumps it off to the tight end. They bring him down at the 44. That's a solid gain, getting closer to midfield now. How aggressive do you get on 1st and 10? Back to throw. It's Johnson. Defense is coming
Run
after
it.
him.
He got sacked. He's throwing it away.
Took a big shot, but avoids the sack. So after the incompletion, it's second down. You snap it. Quarterback looking to throw the ball. That's reeled in. It's Brown. Defense wraps him up after the catch, but he's just short of a first down. The wideout's now clustered.
47-yard line. Alabama's side of the field. It's
It's an
caught.
out route. The catch made. They get him at the 42. Good enough for a first down. And the Wildcats looking to run some tempo
First
here.
and 10.
Hey, it's got to start somewhere. That's a nice conversion here on third down. You got a long way to go, but maybe a little momentum here. Let's see what they can do coming off that nice play.
The pass rush closing in. Caught over the middle. It's Brown.
Oh,
Tackled quickly after the catch. He'll be short of the marker. Offense getting set up. Here's second down.
I love what the defense is doing here. Sitting back, giving up some plays underneath, tackling these guys inbounds, and just keep that clock rolling.
Didn't quite get the playoff in time. It'll be delay of game. And the delay of game penalty will push the offense back 5. Offense getting set. It's second down. Back to throw.
that was
again.
weird.
Makes a quick grab. An important 9 yards gain there. Brings up just 3rd and 1. The offense going with the hurry up. Looking to throw. It's Johnson. Can't
Incomplete.
hold on. Good defensive play. Brings up a 4th down. Down late, they'll keep the offense on the field trying to chip away at this lead. A running play called on 4th down. And he's not going to get there. The defense rises up and makes a huge 4th down stop.
All back in the hands of
The
Alabama.
quarterback keeps it on the option. They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time. And that's the 2-minute warning as this offense tries to work the clock, getting closer now to an
2-minute warning.
impressive victory. Hand off to the back. They'll keep the clock moving. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. Trying to find room. It's Haynes. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4.
Yeah, timeout.
And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. They're going to run the option. Tackled behind the
I don't know
line.
what they were
It's a
doing
loss
there.
of 2.
Kansas
Now a
State
timeout
uses it
taken by
last
the
time.
defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. kick it away here. Not what he was hoping for. Instead of hitting the offense deep, it's a touchback. First down play call. How aggressive will it be? They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Snags the quick throw.
You know, it's a nice completion, but it's kind of
Oh,
another.
back in the hands of Kansas State.
Defense is keeping everything in front. I think the offensive coordinator's got to find a way to take some vertical shots to get some chunk plays.
The
Incomplete.
sophomore, a little bit too much air into that throw. So the offense faces a third and manageable here from the 25-yard line. Looking downfield, it's Johnson. That one is incomplete. The defender was right there, and it brings up fourth down now. The offense stays on the field, down multiple possessions. Easy choice.
They catch it now? Yes, they do. They're going to
That's
run it.
enough for the first down. They've got him.
Down at the
Easily
20.
makes the first down, and this drive keeps going. Fourth down conversion gives them a fresh set of downs, but time is running out. They get to the line quickly. Looking to throw it from the red zone.
Trying to make it at least a close game, and that was caught.
Quickly, a short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker.
Less than a minute.
Second down, looking to throw it. He's running out of time here.
And it's going to be thrown away.
But it's incomplete. And they convert here on third down in the red zone. This is a 4-point type of play, touchdown or field goal. It's third down. Quarterback in the shotgun. Looking for
Again.
six. And it's
Incomplete.
very near the goal line. So down by multiple
They're going to keep
possessions here.
going
The
with
offense
it.
will try to convert here on fourth down. From the shotgun, he's probing the secondary. He's got it, and that is enough for a first down. Steps out of bounds after a solid game, which sets up a first and goal for the offense. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. They've got him. Defense comes up with a sack. The clock is still running. They've got to get set quickly. And now they'll just clock it. The offense still looking to score a touchdown for the first time. Now it's third and goal. Quarterback drops back, probing the secondary. And it's caught. Touchdown, Wildcats.
This offense has done what's been asked of them. They get the touchdown. Now it comes down to can you recover the onside kick to give yourself a shot.
Kansas State finally with a touchdown.
Kicking team on now for the extra.
Looks like they're going to kick. They're not going to go for the 2-point. And it's in.
Fancy up and good to get a little bit closer. I believe they're lining up to attempt an onside kick. And the receiving team makes the recovery. The hands team does its job perfectly. So this one is tucked away. Time for victory formation. Looks like the offense will just take a knee here. Of course, in the playoffs, it's survive and advance. This is a crucial W. Great performance, but now the stage gets even bigger. The challenges will continue going forward.
Yeah, more and more pressure will.
Alabama
This
wins
team
19 to
continues
12.
win football games, but you and I have been around this team all year long. So impressed with the emotions and how they're able to contain themselves, stay focused on the task at hand. They did that again today. They advance. Cannot wait to watch and see what they can do next week.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. From Kirk Street, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
Alabama moves on. What was close all came down to if Kansas State would have picked up the onside kick. Let's see who we face. So we're now 10-3. And we're facing Georgia. This is gonna be fun.
Welcome, everybody, to New Orleans and the iconic Caesars Superdome, the long-term home of the All-State Sugar Bowl, which this year, of course, is part of the college football playoff. It's time now for the quarterfinals, with the top 4 seeds, a time to begin their quest toward the national championship. But they run into a battle-tested team already coming off one playoff victory, trying to shock the world here today and make the semifinals. As we'll see the number 10 seed in this playoff, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the number 2
There we
seed
go.
in the playoff, the Georgia Bulldogs. Kickoff team is out there. Great energy as this playoff game is about to get underway. Bringing it out, it's Adams. And a returner brought down by that coverage team. So Alabama's with less than ideal field position as they come out for their first possession. Well, the energy of this building, Coach, is going to pick up as this Sugar Bowl unfolds. As they say in New Orleans, le bon temps roulé. Let the good times roll.
And really one of the more hostile environments, I think, when it comes to bowl games. You know, I've called so many games in here. Think about the history. Going all the way back to 1935, they played the Sugar Bowl right here in New Orleans. I think a lot of people have associated this bowl game with the SEC. But as we've seen since the start of the playoff, teams like Washington, Ohio State, Clemson, among others, have made this trip down here to the Bayou.
Alabama comes up to the line quickly.
You know, plays like this are what Alabama offense is all about. They run the football, and then they're efficient within their passing game. Think about it. They won a couple national championships with Greg McElroy and A.J. McCarron by just being efficient and playing smart at the position and being a great complement to that running game in the defense.
Now it's second down here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw it. Grab behind the line, it's Haynes. The defense all over it. They stop him right at the line. Challenging spot for the offense. It's third down and long from the 45. He'll take a deep shot here. Deep ball is caught for a huge gain here. The tackle is made, but the gain sets the offense up. First and goal from the 9.
Well, there's nothing better for an offensive coordinator than having a quarterback kind of get into a rhythm early in this game. Another great completion. This guy is off to a great start in this big playoff game.
Offense racing down the field. It sets up a first and goal inside the 10. Caught in the backfield. It's Prentice. Brought down at the 5 after the catch. The offense really threatening now. The second down and goal upcoming. And off inside, looking for the touchdown. He powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. We come out in the playoff game, Kurt. No signs of rust for the offense immediately.
Yeah, no jitters at all. After the layoff, I wondered how they might be able to come out and communicate and actually just the rhythm to the offense. But they did not hesitate. They set the tone early. Now they got themselves a lead.
Now the all-important extra point. BAT is good. They jump in front, 7-0. Here's the kickoff team now. Set to boot this one away. Return starts from inside the 5. Stop at the 22. That's pretty solid coverage there. The Bulldogs offense takes the field. The first chance we had to see them today. Well, it's not easy to narrow down the impact players to just a few guys, Kirk, but what do you expect from them today?
Well, we got guys that can make plays as well as anybody in the country on both sides of the ball. That's why I think this matchup is so exciting. Two good teams with great individual players.
And the sophomore brought down after an excellent run. This line getting set up. It's a first down play. Back to pass. It's back. Caught in the flat by the running back. And the defense swarms. Not much of a gain on that completion. Here's the second down play. Keep it on the ground. There's the handoff. And the runner brought down after just a short gain. Okay, it's third down after that run. Here's the snap. Looking to throw here. Looks downfield and finds a receiver who worked his way wide open. Run down to the 46. Good enough for a first down. And the Bulldogs keep the football on the move. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. Run it up the middle, but stuff for no gain. Second down play coming up for this offense. And the quarterback looking to make a play through the air. Locates the tight end. It's complete. They get him down, but not before he moves the football to the 32. Georgia getting set with a 1st and 10 now. Looking for some space. It's Robinson. A solid 8-yard gain brings up a 2nd and 2. 7th play of the drive coming up. Looking to pass here on 2nd down. Grab down the middle. It's Bell. And the gain just good enough for a first down. Georgia now operating in the red zone. Ball handed off. It's a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 coming up. And they'll run it out of the shotgun. That's a nice wrap up there by the junior. Come up on 3rd down. Solid drive. Defense trying to get off the field here. Dropping back. It's back. And the quarterback finds the tight end for the completion. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Georgia. So with playoff pressure, Kirk, the offense executes a long, grinding, methodical drive.
You know, the thing I've loved about this offense all year long is their ability to either hit the big play or not have to rely on that. Like this, they're able to sustain a drive and still come up with points and get a touchdown.
And now here comes the point after attempt. And it's up and good. Kickoff team is on the field to boot this one away. And so it'll be a touchback. Ball spotted at the 25. Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. They scored a touchdown in their last possession. Let's see if this defense can make adjustments and prevent that this time. Physical defending. That one falls incomplete. Brings up 2nd down. There's the snap. He's looking to throw. Grab behind the line. It's Haynes. Then he'll run out of bounds after picking up a few yards on the play. Crucial 3rd down play after that completion. And it looks like the quarterback's going to run it. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They bring the punter onto the field now. And the coverage team pins him in and brings him down. And the offense trots back out on the field again. First play of the drive, looking to throw the football. Caught over the middle. It's Humphreys.
Quarterback looks downfield to make this throw. He wants to be able to get the ball to be able to pick up enough yards for a first down. But instead, he gets the ball at least underneath to the drag route and gets some positive yards.
Caught behind the line. It's Smith. Defense makes the tackle with the clock running. That'll probably be the final play of this first quarter. So at the end of one, we are dead even as these teams continue their pursuit of a national championship. Let's take a quick look at the game summary so far. We've got a good one in our hands, but what you hope for in a playoff game as we begin the second period. Offense showing a bunch formation now. To the air, it's back. Caught quickly. You head out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for a first down. Play action here on first down. The pocket breaking down. And it's incomplete. The defender arrived at the same time as the football, and now it's second down. On the run, it's Frazier.
I think this defense keeps thinking about them throwing the football, and by doing that, they're opening up running lanes. Good positive yards there by the running back.
Looking for his big tight end. Easy throw to a wide open receiver downfield. They've got him, but it's a huge gain. They'll spot it about the 27. The Dogs are on the move here. Play action fake. Looking to throw. There's a shot toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Well, that's a thing of beauty right there. Good
All right, I'm back.
The offensive line gave the quarterback enough time.
That's
Quarterback
it.
puts it right on the money. And with this receiver running a route like this, it makes it pretty simple. His head turned around, catch that football. He's already in the end zone for the touchdown.
Kicking team out for the PAT try. PAT puts him in front by 7. Kickoff team on the field getting set now. He thought about returning it, but instead takes a knee. It'll be a touchback, and they'll start at the 25. So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. Last time was a quick 3 and out. Can they get a drive going this time? Breaks loose at the 40. He has first down yardage at the 46. Alabama comes up with the line quickly.
Defense kind of lost the running back here. Makes a nice catch and gets the first down in the process.
And the ball is handed off out of the shotgun. The junior able to bring him down quickly. Second down after that run on the previous play. And they'll give it to the back. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4. Challenging spot for the offense. It's third down and long in the 45. To throw, it's Milroe. Close to the tight end. And he finds a wide open receiver. They forgot about him downfield. An explosive play. They'll finally make the tackle down to the 27-yard line.
Now we're starting to see this offense look like they've looked all year long. Listen,
Yeah,
if you
still
want to get
nothing.
to a playoff opportunity, your offense has got to be able to show an ability to hit throws like this on third down. They hit it, they keep...
And he's brought down. Offense going backwards with the sack.
Boy, great job here by this defensive lineman from Georgia using his hands and his speed to close in on the quarterback and come up with this sack. And, man, they've had some great ones over the years, Chris, as you know, starting with our guy, David Pollock, who had as good a career in his time in Athens as anybody who's ever put on that uniform. Richard Seymour, a brilliant career with the Patriots, but it all started in Athens. Jalen Carter, just an enforcer up front. And I even throw in Geno Atkins, who had a great career in the interior of that Georgia defensive line.
Looks to the left, and it's complete. Receiver brought down after a short pitch and catch. They come to the line, a long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Oh, that one's picked off. Not much on the return, but the defense comes up with a takeaway.
Georgia.
Give the defensive coordinator a tip of the cap here. They went with dime coverage with 6 defensive backs, which gives them a lot more speed on the field. And with those defensive backs, they're able to play better in space. They recognize the ball, step in front of it for a nice interception.
And the Georgia offense is back out on the field. The last drive, the passing game, very effective. Moved them right down the field. And the defense make adjustments. He fires this throw and is intercepted. Not a big return, but the pick ends the scoring threat. The offense will now take over at the 30.
Well, the quarterback ends up being a tad aggressive. It ends up paying
Now it's
for
back
him
in
a bit.
Alabama.
I think that might be part of his playing style.
first and 10, looking to throw. Grab down the middle. It's Law. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play. Alabama has now moved into the red zone. First down, looking to throw the football. It's a quick grab. Defense reacts quickly, a very short gain on the play. That's the 2-minute warning in this close first half. The offense trying to score and claim the lead before the break. To throw, it's Milrow. And the pass is complete to the tight end. Doesn't quite get in, but it sets up a first and goal for this offense. The offense sets up in scoring position with a new set of downs. First and goal, handoff. Fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, tie. Well, this college football playoff game is all tied up, and Kirk, it's beginning to feel a little bit like a shootout.
Yeah, it is. It's a battle of the offenses. Both these teams right now executing flawlessly, and they're doing so with such high stakes, answering one score.
Thank you.
Neither team is backing up 1 inch.
And they're able to tack on the extra point. The PAT ties the game here in the second quarter now. Kickoff team is on the field. Let's see if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back. Fielded in the end zone. It's Smith. Will be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the powerful Georgia offense is back out on the field. Let's see how this quarterback responds. Remember, an interception on the very first play of the last possession. And now the ball comes out. A disastrous play from the start. Defense recovers the fumble. Big takeaway.
God,
I think that's on the quarterback and the offensive line. They were breathing down this quarterback's neck before he could even recognize that they were there. They were able to knock it loose.
Alabama's offense now lining up on first and goal. Quarterback drops back, launching one to the end zone. And it's picked off in the end zone.
Well, it looks like somebody did a great job of preparing himself to get ready for this football game. It's his second interception in this game so far. Obviously reviewed the tape, is locked in on his fundamentals. That's a big-time player making big-time plays.
And the Bulldogs offense is back out on the field. A premium here on ball security. The last drive, of course, ended in a fumble. And it's picked off. He throws
Again?
it right into double coverage and pays for it. Not a big return, but the pick ends the scoring threat. The offense will now take over at the 30.
Going back, back, back.
So here we go. First play of the drive, under 2 minutes before halftime. Looking downfield, it's Milrow. Checks this down to the running back.
Well, the running back that time just kind of sneaks out of the backfield and shows his hands on that nice catch.
Quick throw to his receiver. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. This quarterback on fire today. Kirk, you play quarterback. How about appreciating a receiver that runs his routes that precisely?
Chris, it's not just his route running. It's the chemistry between the quarterback and the
Alabama
receiver
got a
that really, I
touchdown.
think, is unique. They put so much time into this in the offseason. By the time they get to Saturdays, you can close your eyes and make your throw. It's exactly what we saw right there.
But they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. And knock through the extra point. The lead is 7, 21-14. Here's the kickoff team. Let's see if they give the returner an opportunity to bring this back. Fields it just outside the goal line. They'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. And the Georgia offense is back out on the field. If they want to cut into this lead before halftime, they have to work quickly now. Nice play by the defender. Got a hand in there to break up the pass. Incomplete. Second down coming up. Quarterback drops back. We're going to test the secondary. And with nobody open, he chooses to just throw it away. Well, it's been tough so far to get this drive going. Now they face 3rd and 10 from inside their own 20. What's the call going to be?
Fucking nice.
I'll tackle him after a short game. A cautious call there on 3rd and long. And now the defense decides to spend the timeout to regroup a bit. The Dogs will line up to kick it away. He's on to kick it away, helping his team with field position. And the fair catch signaled for and taken. The guys up front lined up. It's first down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Short connection to the tight end here. A big hit by the linebacker, able to knock him down. And completion makes it 2nd and short. Bringing pressure. And the junior able to get home with the sack.
This is good pressure by the defense, but it just felt like the quarterback was holding on to the ball a little bit too long, which allowed the defense to get home.
So it's 3rd and long from the 29. The defense play coverage or blitz. Now the offense will spend a timeout here, wanting to come up with a perfect call on this important play coming up. It's a shotgun run call. He stopped short of the marker, so it's 4th down now. Timeout is called to talk strategy late in this close game with halftime approaching. Special teams on the field now. Here comes a punt. And he'll kick it away now for the 2nd time. Running it back, it's Smith. The coverage team able to bring the returner to the ground. The offense comes back out there. Not much time left. Perhaps just time for a couple plays before the half. They'll run it here. Running back has the ball. Tackle made after just a short game. The Meadows going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it now to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
Thanks, Chris. These games, they never disappoint, regardless the score. And this one was filled with excitement and big plays throughout that first half. And it's been said football is a game of inches. And guess what? Based on the comparison between 3rd down conversion rate today and the average yard per play, how can you argue that? I mean, the low-lying fruit is to look at some of the explosive plays we've seen in panic. But really, this game is going to come down to which team is more efficient when they have the ball and how they play when it matters most. That's it for us from our EA Sports Studios in Orlando. Let's head back to Chris and Kirk for the exciting conclusion of this one, where we'll find out who is moving on in the CFP.
On first down, it's play action. Makes the throw across the middle of the field. He pulls in the catch. And the tackle is made, but let's check out what this flag is about. So the holding penalty in the offense backs him up 10 yards. First down play call coming up. How aggressive will it be? Gonna run it. It's Robinson. Try to run it up the middle, but get nothing. Second down play coming up. It's the wide receiver coming in motion now. Play action fake, looking to throw. Caught over the middle. It's Smith. Tackle finally made. That's a very solid gain, but not close to first down yardage yet. There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. They've got him. It's a sack for the defense.
And just like that, you squeeze the life out of this offense. That's another sack by this defense. They have been in that backfield the entire game, and a big reason why these guys are enjoying a lead.
Dogs will have to punt this one away. They're going to kick it away for the second time. Bringing it back, it's Adams. They finally get him down, but that's a solid return. Good work by the return man. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. They were held to a quick 3-and-out last time, looking to put together a positive drive here. Pressure is coming. Junior steps up and makes an impact play.
Boy, what an incredible push by this defensive line. And if you're going to survive in the SEC, the teams that really separate themselves are the teams that have great defensive linemen, especially in the interior. And Georgia has had an incredible legacy over the years, and it's nice to see that this player right here is trying to live up to that.
2nd and long for this offense after the sack. Dropping back, it's Milroe. Oh, and he doesn't hang on off the deflection there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down play. See if the offense can move the chains off that incompletion. Drops back, looking to throw for it on 3rd down. And the senior making a disruptive impact play.
You know, let's face it, they dug themselves a hole in the first half, but I'll tell you what, they're coming out with a new look and a new energy here to start the second half.
The punt team making their way on the field. And the returner will be brought down. And the powerful Georgia offense is back out on the field. They're coming off
What's really happening?
3-and-out, so looking to put something together on this drive with a little more urgency. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4. After the first down loss, it's 2nd and long from the 17. Quarterback sets up, looking for an open man. It's reeled in. It's Bell. They tackle him. Looks like it's going to be just short of the marker, inches away. Short pass finds the tight end. And the runner steps out of bounds, but does have enough yardage to pick up the first down. Receiver in motion now. Off the play fake on 1st down. And the junior gets home, making a sack there.
Well, that takes the wind right out of your sails. This offense is trying to find a way to get back into this game, and another pressure and a sack against their quarterback.
See if the offense can overcome that sack. 2nd and long. Looking to throw. It's back. Oh, it's incomplete. A rare drop from an excellent wide receiver. Brings up 3rd down. Here's the snap. Offense looking to throw the ball. Incomplete. He was hit as he threw the ball. That's a big 3rd down defensive play. The Bulldogs will bring their punt team on the field now. Looking to flip the field here. On the return, it's Adams. And they've got the returner corralled. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field.
Jesus
Trying
Christ.
to build on their lead. They will force a punt on the last possession. The shotgun running play call. The gain is 3 yards. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. It's a run. Running back's got it. Not much on that play, brought down short. The offense now looking at a 3rd and short from their own 40, trying to keep this drive going. Here's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. He's got an open man downfield, and it's caught. Touchdown, Bama. It was a foot race, and he won it.
Well, that's a
Alabama
machine right there.
Alright.
Everyone on this offense has been a star in their roles. And when they're rolling like this, it results in quick and positive results.
Lining up to try the extra point. And the extra point makes it a 28-14 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away. They'll return it from inside the 5. And the coverage team able to bring him down. And the Bulldogs offense is back out on the field. The last drive, they came up empty, had to kick it away. Can they come up with something here? Dropping back. It's back. He's picked for a third time tonight. Not much on the return, but they snuff out the drive with the takeaway.
Well, this defense has been great the entire football game here. They knew they had a lot of pressure on them in the playoff. They stepped up and played well all game long, and now they get a critical interception here late in this game.
Great spot to start this drive for the offense. First play of the drive, they'll come out throwing. Catch made in the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama.
Again.
That is great job here by this offense, taking advantage of a big opportunity provided to them by their own defense after that turnover. And why wait? They get aggressive, make the throw, and it pays off for a touchdown.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. Kickoff teams come on the field now to send this one away. Bringing it out, it's Smith. Tackle
Sorry,
number
we're not talking
31,
about
so
much.
it's a good choice bringing it out of the end zone. And the Georgia offense.
Commentary's pretty much got a
See if this quarterback can
stone
bounce
for
back.
us.
The last possession, a pick on the very first play. Another pick. Wow, that's the fourth tonight. Not much on the return there, but a great interception to give the offense the football in the 42.
Boy, would this quarterback love to have this one back. They're trying to work themselves back into this game here in the second half, and the defense comes up with a big turnover that could be the nail in the coffin.
Offense on the field to take over. Off the play fake, looking to throw on first down. Running out of time in the pocket. Cannot escape it. Down he goes.
Well, you got to do a better job with your fake as the quarterback. The defense did not bite at all in the play action, allowing them to continue to come after the quarterback and come up with that sack.
And sack sets up second down. Off the play fake, looking to throw the football. The short completion of the tight end.
Well, we saw a lot of this in the first half. They go right back to him again. We can see the second half, that same trend continuing. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm rolling my coverage. Get a corner up in his face and put a safety back behind him. Some kind of double coverage to slow this guy down.
They pick up the first down, tackled at the 25. So Alabama will take the lead into the quarter break here. With 3 quarters in the books, with a chance to stay alive in the playoff at stake, let's take a quick look at the stats so far. So one final quarter to play. It's going to take a lot to turn this game around, but strange things do happen in college football. Off the play fake, looking to throw. And he'll loft it to the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone.
Well, a risky call by the offensive coordinator, playing with the lead in the playoff in the second half, throwing the football. I don't disagree with it, but now you give this defense a chance to create a turnover, and they capitalize here with the pick.
And the powerful Georgia offense is back out on the field. Remember, the last possession ended quickly. An interception on the first play. Let's see if they can do better here. Makes the grab. It's Humphreys. They bring him down quickly. A short pitching catch to get a little bit closer to the marker. Quarterback wants to throw it on second down. Delivers from the pocket, complete over the middle. They bring him down, but he makes the 40-yard line. That's a solid gain. First down at 10. Looking to pass. It's back. Tries to get it to the running back. Dumps it down to the back. Caught. He's brought down, but not before getting into enemy territory at the plus 47. Looking to throw yet again. Oh, can you believe it? He dropped the ball. Don't see that often from this excellent receiver. He's going to bring up second down. After the incompletion on first down, looking to throw it again. And that is interception number 5 as the nightmare performance continues. Not much on the return, but that's an important takeaway. Sets up the offense at the 34.
I just don't
Yeah, that's
think there's
pretty much
anything
over.
else you can do as a play caller. You've got to be able to throw the ball downfield. You just got to hope that your quarterback and receivers can execute when the defense knows it's coming. Here, the interception cost them.
Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. They'll try the option play here. Picks up 2, so it's 2nd and 8. Keep it on the ground to work the clock here. Second effort. Their defense cannot stop him short of the marker. First down and 10 now. Out of the shotgun, he hands it off.
You know, in the era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense has countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage and not give up big run plays.
And they tackle him, but a nice pickup on that running play. They'll give it to the back. Fighting him off. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. And here comes the punter onto the field. And that punt carries into the end zone, so a touchback. And the Bulldogs offense is back out on the field. This has been a rough game for these guys. Not much left to do but play for pride. And he's got it. And the coach quickly calls timeout after the play, trying to hold on to as much time as possible. To the air, it's Beck. Fires it to the wideout. And he's got his man open downfield. And the offense will wisely spend a timeout after the play. Clock management is going to be very important here in the final minutes. Here comes a first down pass attempt. Makes a quick grab. And he's brought down after a big first down gain. It's 2nd and short. Maybe an opportunity here to take a shot here. Now it's 3rd and short in the 24. One of those line of scrimmage battles that could help decide this game. Looking to pick up the first down through the air. And he's going to fling it deep, going for it all here. And it's picked off in the end zone.
Oh, you feel terrible for this quarterback. He's played well all year. He's trying to make a play, trying to force it into coverage because they need points at this point in the game to try to advance into the next round of the playoffs. Puts it into coverage, and that's probably going to do it.
So with the lead secure here, it's time to just take a knee, run out the clock, and plan the victory celebration.
And it's over.
So the win
Alabama wins the Sugar Bowl.
Bouncing back. They're just getting stronger and stronger now.
You've seen their stock start to really rise, and these players seem to be...
They're going to move on.
Credit to the coaching staff for leading this streak and keeping this team together after that loss a few weeks back. You can tell this team is bought all the way in.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football. everybody to beautiful Miami and Hard Rock Stadium, site of this year's Capital One Orange Bowl, part, of course, of the college football playoff. We've reached the semifinal stage. One last hurdle to clear before that national championship game. And today we're going to find out who's got the toughness and the depth to continue their drive to keep championship dreams alive. Team out there, we are about to get cranked up with a semifinal collision. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And the returner is brought down. So Oregon's offense begins this game backed up. That was not a good return. I love being in Miami for the Orange Bowl. So much history and tradition. So many championships have been won in this game. But Kirk, they've been playing this since 1935. Can you tell me who won that first Orange Bowl?
You know what's funny is I actually asked the same.
And it's intercepted. Beautiful timing there. Tackle made on the return, but the takeaway sets up the offense at the 37 now.
What a job by this defense. Really confusing. The quarterback jumped in front of it, and they come up with an interception to get this game started. The question I have, Chris, can this quarterback, with all this hype, put that one behind him, get ready to play a good game the rest of the way?
Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Got him for a sack. A big play made by one of the senior leaders of this defense.
I like the call here, but you can't run long, developing play-action passes like that if the offensive line is not going to give the quarterback time to throw.
After the sack on first down, it's second down. Back to throw. It's Milrow. Short throw to the back, an easy completion. He's swarmed by the defense. Third down play for this offense. And he'll set up to throw. Looking for the wide out. He pulls it in for a big gain. Tackle right after the catch, but the offense is now in the red zone. Alabama getting set for the 1st and 10 coming up. And here's the handoff. They pick up 4, so second down and 6 coming up. Offense operating from the pistol. Same tailback, another carry. Some hard running there through a tackle. He moves the ball to the 7-yard line. Offense has a 1st and goal now. This Alabama offense is moving quickly down the field. Play action here on first down. He's got it right near the end zone. And he will score. Touchdown, tie.
Oh, just outstanding execution here by this offense. The offensive line gives the quarterback time, and the quarterback's anticipation was on point. Puts that ball right in the money. The receiver, all he had to do was turn and catch the ball for that touchdown.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. And the PAT makes it 7-0 to open scoring. Getting set to kick the ball off now. And he'll just take a knee. Drive will start at the 25-yard line. And the Oregon offense comes back out on the field. Let's see how this quarterback responds. Remember, an interception on the very first play of the last possession. Grab down the middle. It's Herbert.
That's what makes this tight end so dangerous. You can flex him out into that slot position. He shows you his versatility. He can be an inline guy that can block, but here he shows you what he can do with his hands.
Finds a man open on the right side downfield. Rips off a big gain all the way to the plus 43-yard line.
Boy, nice completion here by this Oregon offense to be able to show you it's not just about the quarterback's ability to run. Often you associate that with that Oregon quarterback, right? That dual threat guy that can run it. Do not not forget about their ability to throw the football out in Eugene. Think about Darren Thomas, the career that he had. Started for a few years, took his team all the way to the national championship, made some big throws. And Justin Herbert, of course, enough said, we see it every NFL Sunday what he can do. 4-year starter for the Ducks. We're still seeing these Ducks quarterbacks being able to throw the football.
Looking to chuck it again. The freshman's able to get home with a sack.
As expected, this Alabama defense is laying the wood and living in the backfield of their opponent. Such upfield speed, it's dangerous.
First down sack pushes the ball back. Second down coming up. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Again, he's just trapped and sacked in the pocket.
Well, that's their second sack already in this game right now. And this offensive coordinator, he's going to have to come up with some changes in pass pro. Keep a tight end in, roll the quarterback out, anything they can do to help him out. Otherwise, this poor guy's going to spend his entire playoff experience on his back.
So after consecutive losses, they got to come up with something here on third and very long. Scanning the field, it's Gabriel. Defense is coming after him. And the protection breaks down again. Back-to-back sacks.
I can't believe the amount of pressure this defense is getting on this quarterback. Sack after sack. Well, you got to think about changing things up. The snap count, the scheme, anything at all to help this offensive line. They're overmatched so far in this game.
The Ducks will send the punt team onto the field. He's on to boot it away now. Boots it out of bounds. Not very long. That punt heading out of bounds, so there'll be no return here. So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. They reached the end zone the last time out, trying to do the same thing here. As the first down still on the move. The ball bounces out of bounds, so the offense will hold on to possession. So one play moves the ball to the 41. Another first down. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. Solid run, tackled at the 45-yard line. Offense getting set, second down play here. And the quarterback dropping back. He escapes the sack. He escaped one tackler, couldn't escape the rest. They got him for a sack.
Well, they're making this offensive line really think and communicate. Bringing different blitzes. This time the outside linebacker gets to the quarterback and comes up with a big sack for the D.
Defense are going to keep the pressure on. Third down coming up. Offense looking to throw the ball. It's a short completion to the big tight end. He's not going to get the first down. It's fourth down. And the punt team now on to kick it away. Looking to flip the field here. And that one will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And that powerful Oregon offense retakes the field. Last possession, they were forced to kick it away. Can they finally get things going this time? Solid run. They'll bring him down to the 28-yard line. Second down after that run on the previous play. Off play action, he's looking to throw. And he cannot escape the defense with a sack. So Alabama will take the lead into the quarter break here. And the first quarter is in the books. What is a huge opportunity for both these programs to get a step closer to a national championship. Through one period, these teams are finding out that playoff games just feel different. Who can handle the nerves better as we head to the second? And the motion by the back now forces the defense to adjust. The pass rush closing in. And the pressure gets to him again.
I mean, that's another sack, Chris. I mean, we're just getting started here. First half, and you're already talking about giving up 3 sacks. Got to think about changing things up schematically, help that offensive line, and help that poor
returner is tackled by this punt coverage team. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. They had to punt the ball last time. Now they're looking to add points, build on this lead. Caught over the middle. It's Law. They bring him down after a short gain there. Receivers are bunched together. Quarterback looking to throw it on second down. He's moving out of the pocket. And it's the senior getting home with the sack.
Chris, this one's on the quarterback, in my opinion. He's got to have a better feel and a presence in the pocket to be able to either check it down or get rid of the ball. You just can't take the sack.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this third down. Back to pass. It's Milrow. Fires it to the wideout. Throws a fastball, but it's intercepted. And that's a solid return after the interception.
Boy, great hands by the defender to take that ball away and pretty much steal it from the intended receiver. I don't know if I'd be targeting that defender very many more times.
And the Oregon offense is back out on the field. They're coming off a 3-and-out, looking to produce a positive drive here. Grab down the middle. It's Johnson. Defense finally brings him down, but a nice chunk play. The Ducks come up to the line in the hurry-up. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. Caught over the middle. It's Holden. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal yardage to the 9. And the Ducks trying to punch it in. It's 1st and goal. Keep it on the ground on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down that time. Coming up, 2nd down and goal. Here's the handoff, testing the middle. That's a nice tackle there by the senior.
Hey, the defense is doing everything that they can to try to keep these guys out of the end zone. Now we've got a big 3rd down coming up.
Gain sets up a 3rd down and goal from the 6. Send the back in motion. On 3rd and goal, he's going to try to throw for it. Oh, they've got him for a sack. A big play made by the junior.
If I'm on this offensive line, man, I do not want to see the game flip. This has been a tough game for the big boys. It appears almost like they've just been moonwalking the entire game, and they've been pushed all around. That's 6 sacks surrendered already in this game.
And the field goal unit coming on the field now. It'll be a 34-yard try. Knocks that one right down the middle.
Oh, Chris, it's a nice kick here to polish off that drive with at least 3 points up on the board.
I'm going after this.
They come away with 3 points on the drive, and now the kickoff team will boot it away. And he'll lead the kickoff right there. They'll start from the 25. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. We'll see if this quarterback can shake off the interception he threw in the last possession. They've got him, but he picks up 8 yards, sets up a nice 2nd and 2. Quarterback keeps the football. He's found some room at the 45. Stop right near midfield. It'll be a 1st down. Offense cranking up the tempo now. No huddle. We've reached the 2-minute warning. We'll have to see if the offense can build on this lead before the break. On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. Pass clock. Not much after the catch, but it is good enough for a first down. A new set of downs after that completion. Dropping back, it's Milroe. Looking for his big tight end. He's a wide-open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Strong game by this quarterback. So they find the reliable tight end, and he makes the defense pay that time.
You know, the receivers a lot of times get most of the attention, but don't forget about how potent a tight end can be. When you've got a player like this who can run routes, get a serious weapon that they can utilize, and they just did right there.
Now the important point after attempts. Extra point makes the lead 11. Now they get set to kick it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. To be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the Ducks' powerful offense is back on the field. Time is running out before halftime to cut into this now 2-possession lead. And the freshman making an impact play there.
This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle the pressure of this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of, Chris, get this, 7 sacks in this game so far.
Pass protection a serious issue. Another sack makes it 2nd and long. There's the snap. Looking to throw the ball. Makes the catch downfield. And a timeout is called. Important stage late here in the second quarter. On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it here. Fired into a tight window and picked off. That's a short return, but the pick wipes out a scoring threat and sets up the offense at the 33.
Well, this guy obviously did what he needed to do to get himself ready for this game. It's a favorable matchup. He's got a lot of confidence. He's already come up with 2 interceptions in this game alone. Locked in on what he needs to do to be in position and making plays for this defense.
Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. Remember last time they scored a touchdown. Can they keep clicking here, or the defense come up with a stop? Quick completion to the tight end. He gains 9, so it's 2nd and 1. Scanning the field, it's Milroe. Trying to extend the play. They bring him down, but not before he moves the sticks with a first down gain. So the offense calls a timeout here. That's their first of the half. Here's a 1st and 10 play. From the shotgun, drops back. Makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Bama.
Great job here by the play caller, going to that 5 wide receiver set. You put all these guys out in space and create one-on-one matchups. It's very tough on this defense to try to win all the matchups and give the quarterback credit for being able to find where he wanted to go to be able to come up with that touchdown.
They're set now to try the PAT. No problem on the extra point, and the lead is 21-3 now. So after the touchdown, here's the kickoff, and we'll see if the opposing offense has time to answer before halftime. Fielded in the end zone. It's low. And he'll be stopped short of the 20-yard line. Good job by the coverage team. And the powerful Bucks offense retakes the field. Let's see what they do here in the final minute of the half. Try to get aggressive and cut into this. They pressure him and get him. The loss back to the 7-yard line. Offense stops the clock with their 2nd timeout to talk strategy. This pass rush has been a problem. Another sack sets up 2nd and long. Let's it fly to the wideout. He's got it for a big gain. And they bring him down. That's a very solid gain, but still well short of the marker. Drops back, looking to throw for it on 3rd down. They pressure him and get him. The loss back to the 7-yard line. And now a timeout quickly called by the defense as they try to get everybody on the same page here. The Ducks will line up to punt it away. He's on to kick it away, helping his team with field position. And this one will be fair caught. First down here for this offense. throwing here to start the drive. Looking to set up a screen pass here. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks more than enough for a first down. 1st and 10 play coming up. To throw, it's Milrow. Sideline throw caught, but not enough for a first down. What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense? From the shotgun, drops back, looking for an open man. Grab down the middle. It's Haynes. And the offense will now quickly spend a timeout. So the offense looking to be efficient here. Not much time remaining before the end of the half. Here comes a throw from the red zone. Catch made on the out route. And he's run out after a big gain. The offense will be set up with a first down and goal. The tied offense line up here on 1st and goal. Looks left and finds his target there. And the defense tackles him in what should be the final play of this first half. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Chris, we wondered all week what this matchup would look like. So much at stake in this win-or-go-home game. And we've been treated to a fabulous first 2 quarters of playoff football. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by acknowledging the sparkling play of this tight end. The guy's like an aircraft carrier out there as a blocker. And then when he releases and shows off that speed and route running, he's almost unguardable. Gotta believe he won't be able to go anywhere in this second half without someone attached to his hip.
So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. And this offense trying to build in a very impressive first half performance, trying to stretch the lead right away here in the 3rd. They start the drive with a quick throw to the right.
Hey, they get some positive yards here, which is from sitting up here looking down, Chris. Kind of have a sense that they wanted a little bit more on that play.
Quarterback looking to pass here on 2nd down. Using his legs here. Slides to avoid the big hit. See what the call is on 1st and 10. They'll go with the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. Nice run. He's brought down to the 44 there. 2nd down after that run on the previous play. Looking to pass. It's Milrow. On the run, he'll let it go. It's intercepted. Tried to fire it into a tight window. Follows the pick with a nice return before finally being brought down.
Boy, this defense did exactly what they needed to do. Come up with a turnover here in the second half to get themselves back in the game. They get the interception. Now, can their offense come up with a way to cut into this lead?
And the Oregon offense comes back out on the field. This group is coming off a quick 3 and out. Can they put something together in this drive? He shreds the tackle. That's a nice wrap up there by the junior. The back just come to the line looking to crank up the tempo. They look to throw it here on 2nd down. He shreds the tackle. And he's tackled for a loss after the catch. The defense all over that one. 3rd down. This offense could really use a conversion here, down multiple scores. Caught over the middle. It's Whittington. Tackle made at the 41. That's 1st down yardage. The Ducks come to the line to start a fresh set of downs. And there's the handoff. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Important 2nd down play coming up. And he drops back in the gun. He's running out of time here. And he's going to be brought down by that ferocious pass rush. Nice sack.
Well, Chris, after another sack, these guys are going to be facing another 3rd down and long situation. It seems like that's been the theme in this football game. They cannot stay on schedule offensively, making it very easy for the defense to get after the quarterback when you know he's in a must-throw situation.
So 2 losses in a row puts him in a tough spot, 3rd and very long. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And he's going to stretch the defense, taking a deep shot here. They're not going to get him. He's in. Touchdown, Ducks.
You know, we're seeing more and more of this in college football. Guys in that slot that got the ability to get downfield vertically. It's a mismatch if you have the right guy. This time they get the matchup that they want, hit it for a big one.
the extra point, but trailed 21-10. Now the kickoff team is out on the field. So no return here. He takes it in the end zone, and they'll begin the drive at the 25. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game.
Well, when you sit back and play zone defense like this, what you allow is your defense to have eyes on the football. Here, they give up the catch, but you can see how they rally to the football. There's just nowhere to go for this slot receiver.
Stop at the 36. That's good enough to move the sticks. Offense moving into a bunch formation. Running game is working. They'll stick with it on first down. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Second down after that previous play. Back to throw. It's Milroe. Quick throw testing the middle. Looks downfield and connects with a wide open wide receiver. Takes it all the way to the house. Touchdown, Alabama.
Such a well-designed play here by this offense to find a way to get the ball to the gifted tight end. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's a difficult matchup, and here he shows he's got the speed to take it all the way into the end zone for that touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. Here's the kickoff team now, set to boot this one away. Bringing it out. It's low. And he stopped at the 20, trying to make something happen, but that's good coverage there. And that powerful Oregon offense retakes the field. On first down, it's play action. And he'll just lob this pass into the middle of the field. The catch is made for a huge pickup. They bring him down, but not before an explosive play through this offense through the air.
What a pitch and catch by the quarterback and receiver for a big gain for this offense.
Fakes the handoff here, looking to throw it. Lets it go quickly. And it's complete downfield. Touchdown, Oregon. This quarterback on fire today. That's a crucial response by this offense, but still plenty of work to do here in the third quarter.
Well, I love that they're still fighting and competing. You can tell they've made some adjustments at half and try to get them back into this game. And that score is a great start.
Extra point try coming now. PAT is good, makes it an 11-point game, 28-17. Kickoff team is on the field to boot this one away. And here's the return from inside the 5. The returner is brought down. Once he started with the next drive. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. So some of that first half lead is gone. This game has gotten tighter. There's some urgency now in this possession. The gain is 3. Now it's second down and 7. Gonna run it. It's Haynes. And the senior able to make the stop after a short gain. So let's see what they like here on third and short from inside their own 20. Important to pick up this first down. What a catch. Heads up off the deflection. He's tackled short of the 30, but that's good enough for a first down. They'll run it here. Stop right there at the line. No gain. Getting set. Here's second down. Looking to throw. It's Milroe. And it's intercepted. He stepped in front of that bullet. Can he take it all the way? And he's going to score on the pick 6. Touchdown, Ducks. And the interception taken to the house. A pick 6 potential game-changing play there.
Man, nothing gets a defense, and especially a defensive coordinator, more fired up than a pick six. And let's not forget, give credit to some of those other defenders for making some key blocks to spring that touchdown loose.
The coach deciding to go for 2 here to cut the margin to 3 points. Offense moving receivers around now before the snap. From the gun, he looks for an open man. Looking right, this one caught. And the 2-point try is successful, making this just a 3-point lead. Kickoff team on the field getting set now. 25. Doesn't bring the kick out. Touchback. They'll start at the 25. Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. They have got to bounce back on this possession after throwing a pick 6 last time out here. The gain is 3 yards, so 2nd and 7. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw it. The pocket breaking down. Oh, a throwaway there. Gave up on the play, but now it's going to bring up 3rd down. Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a 1st down. Drops back, needing a 3rd down completion here. Oh, and another incompletion. And the punt team makes its way onto the field. We're going to kick it away for the 2nd time. And the coverage team makes the stop on this return. 1st down play call. How aggressive will it be? Looking downfield, it's Gabriel. And he just throws it away there. Safe move. Had nobody open. Offense comes up to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before the quarter expires. Caught by the back behind the line of scrimmage. Defense stops him short of the 1st down marker, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter of play. Offense looking to convert on 3rd and short from the 27. So Alabama will take the lead into the quarter break here, sitting in a pretty good spot as you wrap up the 3rd quarter, trying to keep those national championship hopes alive. Let's take a quick look at the game stats where we have a chance. All right, here comes the 4th quarter. Everything to play for here. Who is going to stay alive, survive, and advance in the college football playoff? Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's incomplete. They weren't afraid to let it fly, but it brings up a 4th down. And the Ducks will line up to punt it away. And the returner brought down by the coverage team. So here comes the Alabama offense back onto the field. Last time was a quick 3 and out. Can they get a drive going this time? Looking to throw it on 1st down. Fires it to the wideout. Finds a man to the left. Big catch downfield. That'll be enough for a 1st down. Brought down at the 43. Back in motion now. Grab behind the line. It's Miller. He's brought down, but there is a flag on the field. Let's check out this call. That one hurts. Smacks him up 10 yards. This line getting set up. It's a 1st down play. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. Grab down the middle. It's Law. They bring him down. It's a very solid game, but still well short of the 1st down. And the back gets the football. Nice run. He's brought down to the 44. What will the call be on 3rd and long now from the 44? Back to pass. It's Milrow. Quick throw to his receiver. Picked off, a crucial turnover. Going the other way, can they catch him? Now past the 30. Now look at the return after the interception. Sets the offense up in good shape.
Boy, I got to question the play call right here. Give the defense credit. They get the interception. They put themselves in a spot to maybe tie this game. But what was the offensive coordinator thinking with the lead? Taking a chance, and it backfires.
And the Oregon offense is back out on the field. They were held to a quick 3-and-out last time, looking to put together a positive drive here. Using the ground game here, tailback has the handoff. And he's able to find some running room. Nice pickup. The Ducks trying to cash in here in the red zone. Give it to the back again. And he'll get the first down yards before they finally bring him down. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. And the runner takes off to his right. And that football is out. A potentially game-changing play, but who's got it? They recover their own fumble, but it is a big loss. So after taking a closer look, the officials are going to overturn that previous ruling on the field. Here's a shot toward the end zone. And he just throws the ball away there. Nobody open. Excellent coverage. Looks like a man is down on the field after the last play, so we'll take a timeout. Important play right here. Close game, fourth quarter, 3rd and long. From the shotgun, handoff inside. Picks up about 3 yards there, but it's going to be 4th down. So here it is, a pressure moment. The field goal team on the field, a lot riding on this kick. The kick is good. He knocked it right down the middle. And the game now tied here in the final quarter.
Well, they almost put a touchdown on the board, but instead they come away with 3 points.
Following the field goal, the kickoff team is out there now. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead takes a knee and will bring the football to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. They'll run it here. It's the running back with the ball. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4. So from the 21-yard line, it's now 2nd and long. Back goes in motion now. Let's see how the defense adjusts. Quick throw over the middle. Oh, downfield catch made on the left side. They bring him down, but he makes the 40-yard line. That's a solid gain. Dropping back, it's Milrow. Looking for the wideout. It's caught downfield. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play. Alabama comes up to the line quickly. And that completion, Kirk, puts him over 300 yards passing today.
Yeah, anytime a quarterback has a day like this, really, it all has to come together with the offensive line play, the receivers running these great routes, and he's just in sync. He's kind of in that zone right now, and he'll be the first one to tell you how much his teammates have helped him out today.
On first down, why not keep it on the ground? Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. Offense getting set up. Here's 2nd down. Here comes the handoff. And they finally stop him, but a decent gain that time. And now the defense will call a timeout here to make an adjustment on their side before this crucial play. They're backed up here trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. They're going to run it. That gets the carry. They stop him after a 4-yard gain, and it brings up a 4th down. Defense spends their 2nd timeout to try to regroup. So on 4th down, here comes a crucial field goal attempt. Kick is good. Gives the offense 3 points to show for that drive. And they take the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Well, there's nothing more impressive to me than a kicker that can come through in the clutch. Gives them the lead here in the 4th quarter, but there's still time left for a final drive, so their defense will have to step up.
So after the field goal, the kicker out there again to boot it away. He's going to return it from near the goal line. To be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. And the Ducks' powerful offense is back on the field. The last possession, they had to settle for a chip shot field goal. Can they find the end zone this time out? And this is going to be caught, but they rule him out of bounds, so it's incomplete. Empty backfield. Offense spreading the field with 5 wide. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. He'll be taken down. The defense rises up with a sack at a crucial moment. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. Looking to throw it on 3rd and very long. Hit as he releases it, and the pass ball is incomplete. So here we go. Down 1 score. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They need to convert. He'll drop back. And it's incomplete to end the drive. A turnover on downs here in the late stages of this game. There's the snap, then he just takes a knee. Well, that's a great performance in a pressure moment, but now the job gets even more exciting, even bigger as they go on to the national championship game and play for that trophy.
Wow.
And this is a new era. I mean, think about the weeks, the amount of games that these guys have been able to play, and to be able to accomplish this, to get to the national championship, that says everything about the endurance of this football team, both mentally and physically, and they get one more hurdle to see if they can become the national champs.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
Oh. Moving on. Notre Dame.
Welcome, everyone, to a piece of college football history as we crown this season's national champion. There's been so much that's gone into getting here, twists and turns, and now it builds to this, the battle for supremacy. Team is out there, and you can feel the energy. One game to determine the national championship. Fielded in the end zone. It's Payne. And he's brought down at the 16. Would have been better off leaving it in the end zone for a touchback. So Notre Dame's offense going to get the chance to start this game off. Well, here we go. The energy in this building is absolutely amazing, Kurt. We are just 60 minutes away from crowning a new national champion in college football.
And think about it, as a player, this is really what you dream about. This is what you work towards, having an opportunity to get to the national championship. Both these teams have worked hard. Now they're here. Let's see how it plays out.
They'll try and run it. Here's the running back. The junior able to bring him down quickly. Offense getting set. It's 2nd down. Ball handed off. And they'll stop him short of the line to gain. Offense needing to keep this drive alive. It's a 3rd down play. To the air. It's Leonard. And he decides to just throw it away. That's going to bring up 4th down now. Punt team ready to boot it away. seemed able to bring the returner to the ground. So Alabama's offense takes the field. Our first chance to see them today. Hey guys up front lined up. It's first down. On the shotgun, it's a handoff. Solid gain, moves the ball to the 37. Second down after that run on the previous play. There's some pre-snap movement, back in motion. Pressure is coming. Caught in the backfield. It's Young. They bring him down, but not before he gains first down yardage. A new set of downs after that completion. That one falls incomplete. Good defensive play. Brings up second down. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up the throw. Grab behind the line. It's Haynes. Brought down for a loss after the completion. Not what they were looking for. On third down, he drops to throw. And they hit him just as he releases the ball. It's incomplete. They bring the punter onto the field now. Ball lands at the 8 and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And the Notre Dame offense back out on the field. The last time they were forced to punt it away. Can they get points out of this possession? He's got a man down the middle. Tackle made after a big gain. Notre Dame comes to the line quickly.
What a great throw here and an even better catch by this Notre Dame wide receiver. But Chris, let's be honest. If Notre Dame's going to become this top 5 team, this consistent brand, this is where they've got to make their biggest strides. The ability to make plays downfield and have the speed to be able to play with the big boys in college football.
And a short pitch and catch to the tight end. A big hit by the linebacker. Physical tackle there, big versus big. And he'll drop back here on third down. Nowhere to go. The ball knocked loose. They retain possession, but that's a huge loss.
He catches a break here. Ball is on the ground. It ends up bouncing right back to him to avoid a disaster for the offense.
Hold on a second. The replay official has signaled that he wants to have another look at this play. So after taking a closer look, the officials will overturn that previous ruling. And on fourth down, the punter sends it away. Oh, it landed at the 8-yard line, but a lucky bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. First play of the drive, they look to the right. They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time. That run picks up first down yardage, a fresh set of downs for this offense. There's the handoff. The gain is 2 yards, so it's second and 8. Snags a quick throw. They've got him, but not before he makes a first down at the 41. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. Trying to find some room. It's Young.
Well, the defense coordinator this week all week telling us about gap integrity, not giving this running back any creases at all. Really sound defense on that play.
He'll hand it off. He'll be taken down, but he crosses midfield at the 48. Alabama getting set with a first and 10 now. The throw, it's Milroe. Fires it to the wideout. What a job to lay out and make the catch. Tackle is made, but the junior quarterback shows off his arm strength that time. First down, looking to throw the ball. And he'll loft it to the end zone. Oh, and it's batted down by the defense. Great play to deny a touchdown. Now it's second down here. And he's back to throw again after that incompletion on first down. Finds that big tight end for a short pass. Defense shoves him out of bounds. Not much of a gain there. So it's third and short from the opponent's 28. Let's see what the play call is here. They're already in field goal range, but thinking about the end zone. And he's hit right as he throws it. Incomplete. So on fourth down now, out comes the field goal unit. He knocks this one right through. It breaks the scoreless tie here, makes it 3-0.
Snap, the hold, the kick, everything there perfect to put 3 points up here for the offense.
So after coming away with 3 in that drive, the kickoff team is out. And it comes out to the 25. No return attempted there. And the Fighting Irish offense comes back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time. Can they get this offense going finally? Get some points. A sack in the play could not escape the pass rush.
A really good job by this defense. The quarterback looked to be trying to work through his progressions to find his open receiver, but before he knew it, he's on his back.
This big guy's up front will have to regroup now. It's 2nd and 14. Here's the handoff. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. The offense will line up. Chance for a couple more plays before the end of the quarter. To throw, it's Leonard. QB to the tight end for a completion. They get him down to wrap up the first period of play. So Alabama will take the lead into the quarter break here. So both teams settling in this battle for the national championship. Through 1 quarter, let's check out the game summary. All right, let's get back to the action. Getting closer to finding out who will be celebrating here tonight. Pass caught, but not good for first down yardage. Offense looking to punt now. And here's the fair catch by the return man. Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. Had to reluctantly settle for a field goal last time out. Really want to find the end zone here. Breaking free at the 35. They stop him out at the 42. That's a solid gain, getting closer to midfield. The game moves the ball past the 40. Sets up another 1st and 10. Off with RPO, the quarterback looks to his right. Tackled quickly after the catch. He'll be short of the marker. 2nd down after that run on the previous play. And now the handoff. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. What will the call be on 3rd and long now for the 44? Dropping back. Looking to throw for the first down. Lets it fly to the wideout. And the pass is intercepted as he throws into double coverage that time. They tackle him after a short return, but they get the football back and set up shop near midfield. So here comes the Notre Dame offense back onto the field. They're coming off a quick 3 and out, so looking to put something together on this drive with a little more urgency. Caught behind the line. It's low. Defense surrounds him. Just a short gain on that completion. Pass complete. It's 2nd down now. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun, looking for a receiver. Cannot escape that ferocious pass rush. It's a sack.
Nothing is more gratifying for a defense to be able to sit back and play zone and still get pressure on the quarterback with your defensive front.
So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense. 3rd and long. Looking downfield. It's Leonard. That's the running back who makes the catch across the middle and uses his speed to pick up solid yardage. Notre Dame getting set with a 1st and 10 coming up. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun. The pass is intercepted. Not much on the return, but that's an important takeaway. Sets up the offense at the 34.
He didn't really seem to feel like he
Eludes a tackle. You bring him down at the 44. That's a solid gain, getting closer to midfield now. First down play call coming up. How aggressive will it be? Quarterback pulls the ball. It's a keeper. Finding enough space for a solid gain before they stop it. Here's the second down play. Offense will keep it on the ground here. And he's brought down, but he does have enough for the first down. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. And at first down, they go right back to him. He gains 9, so it's 2nd and 1. They stop him, but it's a first down. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. Grab behind the line, it's Miller. They'll actually lose yardage after the catch. The defense all over in that time. Second down here, time for perhaps just one more play before the 2-minute warning. Handoff here from the shotgun. Finding some room at the 25. And a big gain before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs. About time this offense gets going. It's a 1st and 10. Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. Running out of time in the pocket. And it's a throwaway. That's a good call down here in the red zone on first down. Second down play coming up for this offense. Dropping back, it's Milroe. Pass ball is incomplete. There was a lot of contact. No penalty. Brings up 3rd down. They come to the line. A long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Lets it go quickly. And he makes it into the end zone. Touchdown. Tie. Here's the point after attempt. And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. Kickoff team is on the field. See if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back. And it's fielded. The returner trying to create good field position here. He's got some daylight turning on the speed. They finally get him, but that's a great return. The last line of coverage guys just able to corral him, but a great...
Controller. There's
Stride. First play of the drive, they're going to throw the football. Pulls it in. It's Collins. Brought down, but it's past the line to gain. Notre Dame comes to the line quickly. And looking to throw now on first down. Catch made over the middle. He's brought down quickly. A short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker. Second down, looking to throw it. And the junior able to get home with the sack. And a timeout is called to talk strategy. Close game here as we approach halftime. And they'll keep it on the ground. Running back has the handoff. As they bring him down, they tried to run for it on 3rd and long. A cautious play call. Doesn't work. And at 4th down, they'll punt it away here. Oh, and it lands at the 4 and bounces in for a touchback. Here comes the Crimson Tide offense onto the field. Let's see how the offense plays it here. Not much time remaining if they want to get a chunk play, put him in scoring position before the half. Finds a receiver in the middle of the field. The offense will take their first time out of the half to talk strategy here. One play and they're already past the 40. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's Milroe. And that pass is hauled in over the middle. The offense will quickly spend a timeout here after the play.
That's another positive game here for this offense, and this defensive coordinator is going to have to make some kind of adjustments to get this quarterback out of his rhythm. It's the national championship, man. You've got it.
Got him. He's sacked. And a quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
That's a really nice job of bouncing back by this defense after giving up that big gain. This time they get the pressure and bring that quarterback down.
Looking to pass here on second down. Didn't see anybody open, just throws it away. That's not going to bring up third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains off that incompletion. Now on third and very long, looking to throw. Caught way downfield for a huge gain. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. So the offense clicking now, Kirk, building the lead, and this one could get out of hand.
Well, it's just complete domination. The offense is executing and doing their job, putting points on the board. The defense has shown up, prepared, ready to play. It just feels like this game's getting sideways in a hurry.
And they'll set up with the PAT. Extra point makes it a 17-point game. So an important touchdown just before halftime. Not much time for the opposing offense to try to answer before the break. They're returning from inside the 10-yard line. Returner tackled right there. That's when we'll start the drive. So the offense takes the field in the final seconds of the half. Chance for just a couple more plays. Hand off to the right side. They stop him right at the 24. Minutes going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it now to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
Chris, thanks. What else might we expect in a game of this magnitude? Everything on the line. The eyes of the sports world on this battle with the coveted gold trophy at stake. And there is no better place to start this halftime than by reviewing how this wideout has been a one-man wrecking crew. The kid's been everywhere, and I love how he's willing to go across the middle, but that he also has the jets to burn these DBs on the deep ball. If this defense wants to actually come back in this one, they better hide his cleats. And with that, let's send it back to Chris and Kirk in the booth. Fellas, hard to believe we're only one half away from crowning a national champion.
Return starts from inside the 5. Coverage team brings down the returner. Alabama's offense coming back onto the field. They've really built momentum in this game. They've been hard to stop. Can the defense make some adjustments, come up with a stop here? Opening play of the drive, he looks right for a completion. And he's shoved out of bounds by the defense short of the first down marker. The game makes it second and medium. Caught in the backfield. It's Miller. There's a loss after the completion. That's a good play by the defense. Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this third down. Cannot connect. Incomplete, and now fourth down. Special teams on the field now. Here comes a punt. And he'll kick it away now for the second time. With the return, it's Love. He's brought down, but a good effort to make something of that return. Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. Running back with the football. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. Second down play coming up. Dropping back. It's Leonard. Receiver makes the grab. And they bring him down after a solid gain, but it's still well short of the first down marker. Quarterback in the shotgun here on third down. Quick throw, catch made on the out route. And he's tackled just short of that first down marker. Good job by the defense. And they'll kick it away here. Running it back, it's Adams. And the returner is tackled by this punt coverage team. Here comes the Alabama offense onto the field. Forced to punt last time. Trying to add points, build the lead right here. They start the drive with a quick throw to the right side. Tackle's made, but not before he makes the 43-yard line. This drive is going now. Alabama comes up to the line quickly.
Another big gain by this wide receiver. This guy has had a great year all season long. You knew coming into the national championship he'd have a shot to make a lot of big plays. But give credit to the offense coordinator, moving him around, allowing him to find space to do work.
Breaks loose at the 45. He's brought down, but the gain moves the ball to the 39. That's an important first down on that running play. Looking for some space. It's Young. Defense stops him, but that's a solid gain. The gain makes it second and medium. A handoff from the shotgun. He's wrapped up nicely there by the freshman. A gain sets up a third down play. Quarterback drops back, probing the secondary. Caught near the sticks. It's Haynes. They've got him, but that completion good enough for first down yardage. A new set of downs after that completion. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Grab made by the tight end. Finally, they get him. A great tackle by the quarterback. Not easy with that size difference. Wideout's now clustered. Looking to pass. It's Milroe. Scrambling. Now he'll make the throw. Pass is caught right near the sideline. What a catch. Does get the foot down. Alabama's offense now lining up on 1st and goal. And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. And he'll be smothered right at the line for no gain. All right, 2nd down and goal now for this offense. Quarterback looking to connect with the receiver here. He's got it near the end zone. Touchdown, Bama. And the route is on. Another touchdown strike. You win national championships with elite quarterback play. And, Kirk, this guy's putting on a show.
I mean, this is a national championship. You imagine having this kind of performance? This is something that we'll always remember. Right now, this defense is overmatched with his ability to throw the ball and the receiver's jobs of running routes. Everything's in sync right now.
The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. Here's the kickoff team. Let's see if they give the returner opportunity to bring this back. Fields it just outside the goal line. Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. The Fighting Irish offense is back on the field. They're coming off a 3-and-out, looking to produce a positive drive here. Powering right past the defender. And they'll tackle him about the 23-yard line. 2nd down after that run on the previous play. And now they run the draw play. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. They're going to run it. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Offense getting set. 2nd down play here. To the air, it's Leonard. Works downfield and finds a receiver who worked his way wide open. They bring him down, but an explosive play by this offense. Big game. Off the play fake on 1st down. Makes a quick catch. And he heads out of bounds after gaining a few yards. 2nd down after that completion. And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man. Who makes the grab. They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play.
The defense is spread all over the field, creating some one-on-one matchups, and the quarterback makes them pay for it.
From inside the red zone, they're looking to throw. Defense drops him for a loss. Tougher 2nd down on the way. Offense coming to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before we reach the end of the quarter. Defense is coming after him. Junior steps up and makes an impact play. So Alabama will take the lead into the quarter break here. So 3 quarters complete in this battle to crown a national championship. Before moving on, let's check out the game summary so far. And now entering the final period of play, is there an epic comeback in store? We're going to find out. Drops back, looking to throw for it on 3rd down. And he's going to fling it deep, going for it all here. So down by multiple possessions here. The offense will try to convert here on 4th down. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. But it's incomplete. A 4th down stop. Turnover on downs. 1st down here for this offense. And they hand it off to the back. Fighting off the defender. And the run moves the ball up to the 33. 2nd down after that run on the previous play. And from the shotgun, an inside handoff. He's stopped just short of that 1st down marker, inches away from it. It's 3rd down for the offense. They'll use that running game, trying to bleed the clock here. Enough for a 1st down at the 37. A running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs. Caught quickly. And he will be stuffed for no gain. What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense? From the shotgun, here's an inside give. They try the middle, but gain nothing on that play. 3rd down here. Time for perhaps one more play before the 2-minute warning. And that's the 2-minute warning. This offense looking to run out the clock and secure an impressive win here today. On the run, it's Haynes. Defense stops him short of the marker, so now it's 4th down. The punt team making their way on the field.
Less than a minute 30. Alabama's going to punt it.
Oh, it landed at the 7 and bounced into the end zone for a touchback. And the Notre Dame offense back out on the field.
Notre Dame trying not to get shut out. At least wants to get one
1st down. Looking to throw the football. Caught over the middle.
touchdown, field goal, anything.
Trying to preserve as much clock as
They
possible.
use your timeout.
The offense will set up on 1st and 10. Quarterback drops back. Fires it to the wide out. Grab down the middle. It's Collins.
Another timeout by Notre Dame.
Trying to hold on to as much time as possible. 1st down play call. How aggressive will it be? Here's the snap. Offense looking to throw the ball. And he finds a wide open receiver. They forgot about him downfield. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain. More than enough to pick up the 1st down.
Final minute of play.
Looking to throw it again. The pass rush
They
closing
got
in.
shut up, but they get
The
sacked.
pass rush has trapped him into sack.
The clock's running. Notre Dame needs to get back to the ready.
Great job once again applying pressure on this quarterback. This poor quarterback, he doesn't know what he has seen today. Not able to get anything going to be able to try to compete in this game. They're down big, and now they're just hoping for that clock to run out.
2nd down now after the sack. Back to throw. It's Leonard. Pressure coming.
And
they've got him
sacked
It is a
again.
sack party out there for this defense. Everything going their way. You know that this offense is going to try to throw the football down by such a big margin late in the game. And this defensive line is bringing the heat. They come up with another sack.
After consecutive losses, he did a miracle here on 3rd and a mile. From the shotgun, he's probing the secondary.
And incomplete.
Cannot connect on the deep ball. 4th down and very long, but the offense is still on the
One
field.
more chance for the Fighting Irish to not get shut out.
There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. Here's a shot toward the end zone.
Toss
Downfield.
incomplete.
Down stop. So this one is tucked away. Time for victory formation.
And that
And it's a kneel down.
is going to be it.
And
The
that'll do
Alabama
it. We have
Crimson
a national
Tide
champion. What an emphatic
Illuminati.
statement to close out this national championship run. You know, the coach told his guys, go out there and leave no doubt. Say mission accomplished.
Well, Sometimes a team
24
wins a
nothing. They
national
shut out
championship
Notre
when they just got
Dame
hot at the right time. And there's other times
and
when
win
it's
it all.
been clearly the best team in college football all year. To me, these guys have been right up there as a top team in college football, and it's very fitting that they not only win it, but they win it in grand fashion.
Well, that's going to do it for us and wrap up another outstanding season of college football. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football. They are officially your kings of college football and national champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
That's gonna do it. Alright. Before we call it, let's take a look at see how all the other teams did. See the conference standings. Slinky. Alright, let's look at the conference standings. See how they all did. ACC, it was Florida State at the top. Looks like they won the conference championship too. Top 5 was Tulane, 13-2, 7-1. Wake Forest doing good in their first season in the American. So is Old Dominion and UCF. Big 12 now called the Big 8. Came down to Kansas State and Colorado. Colorado went undefeated in the conference. 4-0. In the Big 10, it was Ohio State winning the conference championship over Notre Dame. However, at the end, it would be Notre Dame that would make it all the way to the final of the playoffs. Western Kentucky took it all home in Conference USA. It was Cincinnati beating Marshall in the MAC. A good season for Virginia as well. Utah won the Mountain West. Arizona, it was between them and Arizona. Stanford took it all in the Pac-12, beating UCLA. Georgia won the conference championship in the SEC, beating Texas A&M. Of course, they missed out on that. And Texas State wins the championship for the Sun Belt, beating Georgia State. Jacksonville State also had a good season. Well, that's gonna do it. I've been live for 3 hours. Jesus. All right. Well, it's 12:37, so we'll just save it here and we'll continue.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say save it here, continue another day.
Yeah.
All right.